everybody, this is Notorious Fat here, and welcome to Exposed, 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 Exposed. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to expose all those terrible LG players. Exposed, 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 exposed. I'm going to have another heart attack. Oh my goodness, don't kill me. Exposed, 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 exposed. Dolly, you're right. You're crazy. Oh my goodness, exposed, 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 exposed. I'm going to talk about stupid gamer tags today. Oh my goodness, Notorious FAT. What does that mean? It's supposed to make a joke about me being fat. Ha ha ha. Exposed, 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 exposed. You've been exposed, and you've been exposed, and you've been exposed, and you've been exposed. Exposed, exposed, exposed. And then I just sit here for about 10 minutes just cursing and swearing because I have no other means of writing jokes or doing anything else worthy. Exposed! Exposed!
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to LG Overdrive. With us today, we have Air Raiders. Also with us, we have UT75.
What's going on tonight, everyone?
And I'm your host, Buck. So we're going to kick it off this week a little differently. Well, not really differently, but it's a different intro. So we're going to send it over to UT for his typical Keepers of the Crease this week.
All right, let me pull it up here. All right, so like I said, most of you could have seen the top three and bottom three in my forum post. I'm still waiting for a lot of the butthurt comments since one of the own Overdrive members made the top three. So we'll see when that starts. We'll go to our top Guardians. For number one of the week is no other than Darcy Kemper from Providence. He went 6-0 this week, posting a .878 save percentage and 1.46 goals against average. One of those is a big win over Rochester 6-1, posting a .941 save percentage, stopping 16 out of 17 shots. So Darcy looks like he's going back into form, but you mean again, look at the team he has playing in front of him. So it seems to be he's a solid goalie. He just always has good D. Next, we're going to go from the San Diego Gulls, another really good team. Jesus52, this Guardian, or I called him the Savior himself, went 4-0 this week with a .879 save percentage, 1.69 goals against average, and a 2-1 victory over the Ontario Reign, stopping 16 out of 17 shots with a .944 save percentage. So I'm a fan of this goalie. I've played against him a lot in clubs. He's a very very solid goalie. So he looks like he's doing well for the Gulls as well. Our number three top Guardian is Ontario's Buck. Right here, a guy right here in front of us. Look at that smile, Raiders. You'll probably never see it again, so take a screenshot. A lot of people are going to be like, well, why didn't I get on there? I was 4-0, I was 5-1. The reason why I put him on there, he had a 3-0 week, a .875 save percentage, and 1.89 goals against. He had a good 4-3 win over a good San Antonio team. No offense, Buck, you don't play behind the best teammates. You don't have the best defense. No. So I have to say you going 3-0 this week deserved you that top Guardian spot.
Outside of Tucson.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to our It's Never Too Late to Retire. Number one, it threw me off having him down on the bottom this week. It's Rochester's Angry Fawn 368505. Usually he's always at the top or in the middle, but this week he went 1-5 with a .674 save percentage and a 5 goals against average. Oof. One of those, what really hurt him was that .545 save percentage against Springfield, letting in 5 goals and 11 shots. So let's hope he can step it up next week. We don't want to see him on the bottom. I don't think he has the same team that he had last year that took him to the playoffs. No. So, number two, which this was a touchy subject with Zaka or Naby or whatever you want to call him, Nabokov. He wanted to defend his goalie. Good for him. He said they played crappy in front of him, but still, they lost to Buck. So it's iTub3 from, the Roadrunners. He went 1-5 this week with a .701 save percentage and a 4.31 goals against average, losing 9-1 in a forgettable game against Cleveland with a .357 save percentage and letting in 9 out of 14, 9 goals and 14 shots. So, wow.
I saw Vader shaking his head there.
iTub 3.
I do.
Yeah. Is that not his name? It's iTub. We're going to go with that.
You're going to rattle Nab even more with that comment.
iTube. He's iTub because he's letting everybody's getting into the shower there, the communal shower of goals coming in on him. So our third goalie is none other than BS Pain Train 19. You see him on the bottom a lot last year. He posted a .680 save percentage, going 1-2. His with 4.84 goals against average. His most forgettable game would be an 8-3 loss to Providence, letting in 8 goals and 22 shots with a .636 save percentage. So I want to say that that I would say it's more on his defense on that one, but oof.
Be sure to check out his stream archive for the. There has to be some rages.
Does he? Yeah. So find his stream if you want to see some rages. But besides that, back to you, Buck.
So we've had a new segment since Raiders decided to come on. I know Raiders likes to rant a lot, so we started this new segment called Rants with Raiders. So I'm going to send it over to Raiders for some ranting.
Yeah, I guess first up is Rink Talk or whatever the fuck that shit's called.
Ding Talk?
Dink Talk. The Throat Providence Hour. And that's basically my complaint. 3/4 of the fucking shit is all Providence players. They do like what you guys do here. They pick out their best players of the week or whatever, top forward, top defenseman, top goalie. And those motherfuckers are all picking Providence players. Like, I get it. You're a good team, but come on. Where's your journalistic integrity? It's fucking 31 teams. You could have found somebody better than fucking just sucking off Providence the whole time. And like, it's basically fucking 45 minutes of us being in on the inside jokes of the fucking Providence team chat. Like, huh, I'm picking this Providence defenseman because he's better than Cloud. Huh. Come on.
And then last week they spent a good 8 minutes ripping into me.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, but you deserved it last week.
That's a common
that's
theme.
excessive too.
Yeah, true.
Second rant is going to be Notorious because fuck him. I just watched Bryson and Notorious's new show or whatever it is.
Was that today?
Yeah, the PTI clone. Guys, also make sure you fucking archive your streams because like people would like to watch that shit back and you don't. It's like basic streaming 101.
Oof.
So the end topic was Rockford Ice Hogs buying or selling. Okay.
Aren't you guys number 1?
We're number 2 in the West right now. We're number 1 in our division. But
yeah.
Everybody will tell you we have a weak division, blah, 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 whatever. So fuck Notorious because that motherfucker sold, wanted to talk about we don't have the horses to make a run. He can barely keep a fucking roster spot. I don't know what the fuck he knows about horses anymore. 4 teams in 3 weeks, and he's telling us we don't have a chance. We're going to fall apart by week 5. Give me a break. I will give credit to Bryson because he probably gave me kinder words than I could have ever fucking expected from him, but it was still like a backhanded compliment. Like, yeah, they're going to make a run, but basically they have no competition because the West is weak or whatever the bullshit reasoning was. But yeah, so fuck that. And then big fuck you to Germ for being probably the biggest idiot the AHL has ever seen. And it's hard to do when you have people like fucking Sprangy getting suspended for player tampering and shit.
Halsey.
But wouldn't you expect that from Germ? Wasn't he the biggest idiot in the CHL?
Wellesley tagging everyone in the Discord at fucking 3 a.m.
Wow.
because he posted his trade block.
Everyone in the AHL management Discord at 3 o'clock in the morning to tell us he's putting one person on.
We played a club game against him like, I don't know, yesterday, and he quit, and I told him, hey, just like Wellesley to quit a club game after going down 2 goals, and he tried to call me trash. I'm like, bro, we just beat you like 8-1, and you're gonna quit and then throw a fit. Yeah, I was like, go get banned.
So yeah, AHL management has devolved, and you know it's devolved when people like Germ get a spot.
Look at that action center button.
But his team's doing well.
Yeah.
There's something fishy there. I don't know what the hell's going on, but they're like doing well in spite of him. Like, fuck, we're on Germ's team, but we're gonna play well, which is actually a bad idea because now you can't ever get off of Germ's team. But the idiot, he put somebody on waivers and then claimed the same person, only to then like waive them again,
So
like a couple hours later.
Yeah. So if you look at the Constitution, it's actually against the rules to place a claim on your own player. Even though there could be another team claiming your player and you want to keep that player just to put him on your TC, it's still breaking the rules.
And even if that wasn't, you can't claim a player off of waivers and then waive them again without playing them.
Exactly. That's, again, a second violation of the Constitution.
They should make it to where you can't claim, if you've put someone on waivers, that I don't know, something with the coding that you can't claim your own player. It should automatically default to where it makes it where you can't.
Listen, Tris does a lot for this website. We don't need to fucking germ-proof it. Jesus. Have some fucking common sense. You put the dude on waivers, now you see he's fucking getting claimed. Because the only reason why you would hit the button to claim him is if you see he's getting claimed by someone else and you don't want that to happen. Because if he wasn't getting claimed by anybody, you could remove him from waivers.
Yeah.
But someone else put a claim on, and then you decided, hey, shit, no, I'm going to lose this guy. And then you pulled him off, and then you fucking waived him again. Like, he's obviously just going to get claimed again. Like, what are you doing?
We need bottles of Purell to get away from the germ.
It's going to take a whole bleach bath.
You need a shot of, I don't know, something.
I propose the AHL institutes the CHL-style GM test. Because we've had so many. We have people waiving inactive players. We've had people.
It seems like you need some germicillin.
Player tampering, waiving.
Player tampering.
Their players and then re-waiving.
I don't know.
But moving on to another topic I want to bring up, because I'm sure you'll want to rant about this too. You already mentioned spraying on Lehigh Valley. How about his AGM, who's a right wing playing right D 3 games this week?
Yeah, apparently they didn't realize that the CHL rules don't exist in the AHL.
Did they forfeit all those games?
They will have to forfeit all those games because it's a manager playing right D.
Didn't they also have like 10 forwards?
Yeah, he was their 10th forward as well.
All week. It's just, this is the problem, and you know what? You can't even fully blame the AHL. This is kind of on the CHL. Sprangy's like a career CHL manager who just moved up this season and is still playing by CHL rules.
But the thing is that Brody sends out the AHL rule book to all managers in a pushed PM twice, in week 1 and in week 2.
Look how many chat bans and fucking all kinds of other shit. I mean, people didn't realize you couldn't waive inactive players and fucking. It's a shit show because people don't read the rules until someone goes, "Hey, you can't do that," and they go, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, and then they're just like, "You can't do that." Well, they could do that, 4 seasons ago in the CHL.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, in the CHL, like, and that's true. Like the CHL, they have a position lock, but managers are deemed utility players and can play any position. I don't get why. I got it at first when they first instituted player lock down there, position lock, because it was like a way to kind of like have an adjustment so that, just in case you had some issues, you could have someone fill in on your roster or whatever. But
it was so that players like, what was it, Dessuk can all sign up on goalie and then all play on one line.
Yeah. But then they let the managers be like utility players who could play any position, I guess, as a little transition to make sure you had everything covered. But yeah, 1 week suspension for Wellesley there for player tampering. It's brutal, man. It's brutal out here in summer season. The management level is gone.
Well, Wellesley is just so bad that he doesn't belong in the AHL anyways.
Well, it goes back to the whole debate about balancing management, and it's a thing that, you know, some people call for it. People think there's people in the AHL that shouldn't be in the AHL, it should be in the N, and people think that there's people who sandbag all the way to the CHL who could have ran an AHL team. I mean, you look at guys like we just had him on Doghouse. He'll be on Doghouse this week. Fucking Sensei Dropshit or whatever the fuck his name is. He ran a pretty decent Milwaukee team last season. Decided he couldn't play with his friends and hightailed it back to the CHL. He probably should be an AHL manager over someone like fucking idiot Germ or Wellesley player tampering his way through everything. And then you got like Braden Holpe's down there who fucking could probably be an AHL manager over a lot of people. But that's a whole debate for a whole separate show.
Then there's the other way around where they should be in the NHL and they're managing the AHL. I don't know if you remember this, readers. You might have been in the C at the time, but the rule was that Bryson wasn't allowed to take AHL management unless he played forward. And he did. He played center the first year. And he's played defense for 2 straight seasons now. But he was told when he came down that he wasn't allowed to take management as a defenseman because he's an NHL defenseman.
There was a debate in the main chat box a couple days ago.
Should check the AHL chat box right now.
Everybody's favorite AHL bug, Psychic Taco, and I use the favorite term loosely, was in there, I guess, trying to defend the whole thing. And he basically was like, oh, well, do you think guys like... apparently, he's trying to say that the bar's set like really high, like first-line NHLers. To me, the AHL shouldn't have anybody in there as management who is better than an NHL third line. That's what the AHL is. You're supposed to be worse than the NHL, point blank. Then it was like, well, do you think Tino is NHL first line? Fuck, maybe this season he could be.
Yeah.
With his numbers he put up in the NHL. You can look at guys like Bryson. I think in order to properly balance the leagues, it's not like that's a super high standard. I think the standard needs to be shit like, is fucking Bryson better than Vladdy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those
two before the season.
Should Bryson be running Boston and Salty Sailor be running Providence? Probably.
Like that needs to jump from Columbus to St. John Sea Dogs.
Yeah. Well, that's a huge. That's probably what's coming next for Vladdy. But you know, that's my point. And when you balance it, if you're going to set the bar super high like first line NHLers, then obviously you could make a case for a lot of the people to still be down here. But I think that bar is a little bit too high.
Best thing that happened to me was when I saw that trade. When I saw I got traded off to Columbus.
You guys want to talk about the because it's sort of a juicy topic. How about the
MJ Cash thread?
Yeah.
you started off there.
By the way, speak of the devil when it talks about Wellesley. He just asked for someone to play with him, and I said, "Someone please play with Wellesley. He's suspended and needs friends. Don't." P.S. He might quit if you're down by 2 goals.
So yeah, you know, fuck MJ 23 Cash for not being to the point. If you're gonna call out the Bogs, do it. AHL probably doesn't watch a Doghouse, but we do it all the time. We fucking tell the Bogs like it is and say if we think they're shit or not. And if we have an issue, we'll talk about it. So the whole thing got brought up, and then it got all the way back to the whole Dinks getting waived as inactive thing. And then, you know, it went a little bit back and forth between me and Taco there about, like, you know, yeah, sure, he didn't get to waive him, but he got to circumvent the rule and send him up to the NHL so that he still wasn't on the roster. And then it was like, I love the Bog mentality of, like, passing it off to a different league so it's not their problem anymore. Because they're like, oh, we can't. Taco's like, we can't stop call-ups. And I'm like, well, then you need to look at that fucking management for calling up an ineligible player. Because that's pretty fucking dumb. If that's what you're going to tell me actually happened, is that Salty Sailor said, oh, well, I'll call up this guy, and he's fucking inactive, then there's an issue with the management selections.
Yeah, especially if he knows the guy's inactive and the second tag.
But don't you? Well, that wasn't determined yet. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't yet.
Yeah. And don't you love Brody's mic drops? I always love those in threads when the threads get locked and Brody kind of just mic drops and locks the shit.
He like does a paragraph this long, tags a bunch of people, different things going off with quotes here and there, and then all of a sudden locked. It's like.
And I was wondering where that media bias comes in. I mean, he used the chat box, the CHL bidding ban that I caught for talking in the CHL chat box during bidding. But other than that, like I need to talk to Bryson and see how I can get in on this media bias.
Yeah.
Fuck, you should too. I mean, you only got 3 wins. You need to get in on that.
I mean, I'm already on thin ice. I don't want to go anywhere. Jeez, like if anyone's gotten banned doing media, it's me. Look at AHL Rose season 25. You look at what else did I do? I was a manager and I told my players to play all enforcers in game 82 of the season. Got management, no management listed. It's my.
You gotta learn how to flirt with the line, Buck. You gotta learn how to flirt with the line.
Yeah, so now I'm back in management, but I'm still on thin ice because of what happened 2 seasons ago with game 82. So.
Well, what's your team's record right now?
I think we have 8 wins. That's all I know.
So when you finish the season like 8-64, you probably won't be allowed to manage anyway.
I mean, Dudley was allowed to manage 2 seasons in a row with having less than 20 wins. So.
Well, that's because everybody sandbags the CHL. There's no AHL managers left.
So I try. I'm gonna try and go 4-0 this week. I'm not playing 5 games. 5 games is a curse, clearly, because I haven't won a game in 5 game weeks.
Buck got a big head, won 3 games, and traded Cheetalo.
He actually.
He's like, I don't need you anymore, bitch. I got this.
You went 1 in 5. Don't need you. Bye. Went and traded for a female goalie who knows what she's doing.
Nah, she lost the Air Raiders. Rip.
Oh well.
That's a career ender.
She's got the Ontario defense in front of her.
Shout out to me for having more wins at this point in the season than it took me 7 weeks last season to have 7 wins.
Shout out to Undershot for having 4 wins already, and that's all he had last season.
Just setting new career highs out here.
All right. So we're going to do a transition over here, and we're going to send it over to Dudley for his top 10.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is Dudley Do-Right. Unfortunately, I can't make the show today because I'm too busy, let's just say, fighting crime. And obviously, you can't see my face. There you go, because I have my hat covering my face, and this is done intentionally because I just want to do that. And I'm here with my Dunder Mifflin t-shirt because, of course. Anyways, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the top 10 list. Roll it. Dudley, who's going to edit this later on. Okay, here we go. This is Dudley's top 10 list. And the top 10 is top 10 things we know about AHL media so far this season. Top 10 things we know about AHL media so far this season. Here we go. Number 10. I had no idea air raiders could talk so much since she smokes like a chimney. Number 9. UT is only here to pity us. Number 8. Notorious hasn't exposed anyone because he hasn't gone to jail for public indecency. Number 7, in order to get on Ring Talk, you need the special Providence Bruins password. Number 6, if I wanted to see 19 minutes of Tino's forehead, I'd watch a porno. Number 5, Buck only does this to impress his girlfriend and fails. Number 4, Faces considers himself a media darling, but in reality, everybody wants to punch him in his face. Number 3, Eric E30 is waiting on the sidelines to get on a media show with a torch because no one lets him in. Number 2, Lazy doesn't show his face because he's in the witness protection program. I'm here for you, Lazy, if that is your real name. And the number one thing that we've learned about AHL media so far this season, Buck is the only media member who's probably going to be assassinated, and probably assassinated by Dunks because he can't grow a beard, but Buck can. Oh, boy. That was a terrible top 10. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the show with these, whatever they are. Air Raiders is just going to keep ranting about things, and Buck is just going to pretend like he's cool with his LG shirt on. It finally took him long enough to get a win. I'm surprised he was able to master putting on clothes. Oh, we suck. Back to you guys.
You suck, Dudley.
Big one.
All right, and now we're going to move on to my segment, everyone's favorite defensive segment, From the Point with Buck. So this is where I showcase the top defenseman, the shitter defenseman of each week. Obviously, this is week 3 that we're showcasing this week. So on top point getters, we had a tie, but I'm going to give it to one guy who actually played 3 games instead of the 4 games. So Notorious's buddy, Killuminati X420, had 7 points this week.
Change his name.
He has changed his name, but he hasn't changed it on the website yet.
Or just hasn't got approved, I think.
Probably not. But I will give the special shout-out to Mike Hoagie, who went 4-0 and did also get 7 points.
Hoagie's solid. Who did he play for last year? Edmonton, I think? So he's solid. He was a goalie on the I know he has a Mem Cup, so I don't know if he played goalie, but he played goalie with me in like season 27 in Oshawa.
Then we have a 6-way tie for defense of the most goals. With 2 goals, we have Sharpie from Manitoba, Hammy from Syracuse, Pitcher Swag from Lehigh, Basket Case from San Diego, Pray for Procius from Bakersfield, and Bulging Blowfish from Rockford. So
Bulging Blowfish.
The LGAHL Doghouse Ice Hogs.
Yeah. Take notes, because that's the only time we're going to get mentioned in a positive light on any media show.
Our defenseman with the most assists this week was Mike Hoagie, who had 7 assists. Our top plus minus this week was a split between Hammy X27 and Mike Hoagie with plus 12. Again, playing 4 games. So, and then our big minus this week. Shout out to our buddy from Tucson, Big Save Nabokov, a.k.a. Nabi, a.k.a. Zaka, with his minus 11, playing against Ontario, Tucson, not Tucson, Cleveland, and I forget the other shitter team that he played and lost to.
I'm convinced he's just trying to make his stats worse to get CHL ownership.
Big drop there from the end to the C real quick. Also, quick shout out to Death Star for saying that he chose the wrong ownership position. He was in the running for CHL ownership and NHL ownership, and he got NHL ownership first. So,
and that's also like we were talking about flaws in the management selections. If a guy is eligible to manage CHL, is that someone you pick for NHL ownership instead?
No. All right, back to our defenseman. Defenseman with the most hits this week was Farfadet 92 from Belleville. He had 26 hits.
He's now San Antonio. I'm in San Antonio.
Yeah, I know.
Rip his career.
I keep tabs on where everybody's going. Keep tabs.
Defenseman with the most giveaways is T Chang 3380 from Cleveland, who had 38. That's like 13 a game.
You said T-Pain?
T-Chang.
Must be T-Pain's cousin.
Defenseman with the most takeaways this week was the Atchi from Chicago, who had 21. And then our defenseman with the most blocked shots was Jake Brace from Colorado, who had 6 blocked shots.
That's impressive.
Like, those are registered blocked shots on the on the LG website and on EA. So
EA worked for a night.
Yeah, the servers weren't bad.
They were bad last night, I'll tell you that.
I didn't play, so I don't know.
I didn't play either. I watched the stream and watched everyone over 150 ping.
It's bad.
I'm telling you, they do it on purpose.
They're making them bad for when 19 comes out and it's all smooth.
Getting ready for the beta.
Well, the servers, here's the thing. The servers are always the most requested feature. Like, fix your servers, blah, blah, blah. And So like season 28 servers were fine. You didn't hear shit about it.
Yeah,
Second half of season 29 and now season 30, everybody's complaining about the servers, the packet loss, the high ping, and like I'm convinced they tanked the server so that no matter what they do for NHL 19, it's gonna look like, hey, we fixed the servers.
Yeah. Now that my segment is done, I just want to give a quick shout out to Wickedly Moist for rebuilding Belleville and making it Tucson of season 29.
Well, let's give credit where credit's due. Big shout out for Chris for shutting the fuck up and realizing he doesn't know what he's doing and letting Moist do it.
That too, I guess. The fact that Moist knows what he's doing is kind of hilarious, though.
Well, I mean, he had a blueprint. Just go get Tucson from last season.
I guess. But like you got to realize, Chris was also NHL owner for what, 4 seasons?
How many seasons has Batty been an NHL owner now?
4 seasons?
Means nothing.
He was a somewhat successful AHL manager, went up to take NHL ownership, tanked all 4 seasons, and then went CHL, and then now he is back here.
Fucking up.
Some people's children, right?
Some people's children.
Now, next week is next 2 weeks really are going to be really fucked up with the schedules. So Sunday is Canada Day. I believe Wednesday is Independence Day, July 4th, whatever. And there's no games both days for obvious reasons. So some teams have 8 game weeks this week, and then 10 game weeks in week 5. Or some teams have 8 game weeks this week and 11 games in week 5. What is your thought process on this? Like, what do you guys think about this?
Okay, so at first I was confused about how it was going to work because when you look at the schedule, the whole team schedule, the way it breaks it down is that they have those extra games that are going to be in week 5 still on week 4's list. So it makes everything look more confusing. And as a manager, it was like, well, how the hell is that going to work? Because are we not going to be able to do trades because half our week's finishing in the other week? But when Brody sent out the mass alert and the post about how it's really 8 games this week, 10 games next week, or 11 games next week, that kind of simplifies it a whole lot because you can just do that as your schedule. So when he broke that down, it was like, okay, well, that makes more sense when you look at it that way. So I'm okay with it. I mean, it's going to be a little weird scheduling a line for only 2 games.
See, that's my issue. Because the way they have it set up is, as a manager, you could basically say, well, fuck, my third line sucks. I'm going to put 3 games for my top line, 3 games for my second line, 2 games for my third line, and then when I have a 10-game week, I'm going to give my first line 4 games, then 3 and 3. And you could do that, and it's completely legal. That line that has 2 games should have to play the 4th game as well, so that they're even. Until they have a 10-game week, the actual 10-game week.
No, I mean that makes sense. That would be nice for those guys, but fuck your third line.
I know, but you see what I'm saying, right?
I mean, your third line isn't going to win anyway, Buck. So you're better off being able to give him as few games as possible.
My third line has more wins than my first line. Dudley's on my third line, and he has 3 or 4 wins.
Scrub hunting.
I have more wins than your third line.
Can you scrub hunt?
I have
scrub hunt.
I have more wins than my first line.
They shouldn't be your first line then, Buck.
No, I know.
You're going to have to reevaluate this, bud.
Got to reevaluate my whole life.
What is life?
A gaming monitor, for fuck's sakes. It's made all the difference from a TV to a monitor. So much less lag.
Whatever works, man.
Whatever works, right?
Making those tough decisions for the better of the team.
UT, you didn't give me any of your thoughts on that so far. I mean, from a player standpoint.
From a player standpoint, yeah, I'm a goalie, so it's weird for me because I'm in the backup to Winston Payne, so I usually only play 3 a week unless he can't show up. He was promised 6, so I'm okay with it. But it's weird. It's going to be weird when it comes to the long week. You know, the short week he'll probably play his 6, and I'll get 2, and then his long week he'll probably get. I guess goalies can get 7 in their long week if they want. I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think in the long, it just depends on how your schedule comes out. You know, with teams that don't have, like you were saying, a strong third line, it's gonna be beneficial to them. Those that have solid 3 lines, it's like, who do you play? Who do you play? Who do you match up? I think it'll mess up matchups a little bit. So I think it'll be interesting to see people's stats either go up or down, depending. So I think the matchups is what's going to be the hardest. People trying to line match. So
if you're line matching in the regular season, you need a map.
Well, I mean, you're still going to see. You're going to put your line out there, and then you can tweak it a little bit. You know, seeing what they're. I'm not talking about actually match by match, but tweaking a little bit and seeing what exactly they're going to do.
I'm surprised. I'm curious to see what availability is like, because it being the holiday, people going away and shit like that. You know,
it's like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday are the games this week.
So it might actually help people out in terms of that. Like when you're trying to figure out, like, oh shit, who do I only give 2 games? Like,
right.
Availability might be able to help that out.
Next week it's 3 on Sunday. I think it's 3 on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then 1 on Wednesday.
Depending on what team you play for, it might be.
Yeah, at least that's what mine is. I'm looking at it right now. Mine's 3 on Sunday, 3 on Monday. Or no, I was wrong. No, 3 on Sunday, 3 on Monday, 3 on Tuesday, and 1 on Wednesday.
Yeah, like it's super fucked.
Yeah, but
and then now my last subject that I wanted to bring up, and I know this actually affects you, UT, because it's your team. So it's Carolina and Charlotte. Vietti, starting last season, he's always had trouble with cap issues.
Right.
Always. I was looking at this today and I laughed so hard because in the NHL right now, Carolina only has 15 roster players and they have $1 million cap space, which means regardless, they either need 2 500K players or they have to leave that cap space and run with 15. But then you look at Charlotte, who are currently sitting at 18 active players and they're $4 million over cap. And then I went and looked at their roster to see, oh, well, maybe they have draft picks. They can just chuck the draft picks and have cap space. They have 1 draft pick, and he's $2 million. So that still brings them 17 men and a $2 million.
But you're talking about Pigs on Jupiter?
Yeah. So he's at $2 million. So regardless, they'd have to send him down. But then you look at their defense. They have 7 defensemen, and their most expensive defenseman
really good dad, right?
$3.25 million. So regardless, they'd have to waive him or else they'd be fucked for cap still because they'd have 16 guys and 0 cap.
Yeah, I don't.
So unless Yeti is making moves to clear cap space, one of those teams being Charlotte is going to be stuck forfeiting for like all next week.
No, because you know why? This sounds like vindictive, but this is where fucking AHL GMs should be smart and try and trape Charlotte. Because they have to make a move. You can't go... I mean, they're not going to forfeit all next week. They're going to have to do something. They're not going to just waive players for free. Because if they do that, then that's just stupid, and I don't see why you would do that. But there is one... Well, there's more than one. There's a few idiot AHL GMs who are going to make ridiculous trades that end up making Charlotte better for cheaper.
So, yeah, the thing was with that is that any trade you try to do with Charlotte has to go through Yeti. But Yeti refuses to talk to anyone if he's uninterested. So it doesn't matter if your team is in first or last. If he's not even interested in one player, he refuses to talk to you. You can ask him a bunch of questions about this, and this. He won't even talk. He won't respond, nothing.
Looks like they're going to be forfeiting.
Sorry, what did you say?
I said it looks like they're gonna be forfeiting then, because hopefully someone
Yeah,
doesn't bail them out.
Because last week I literally played with, let's see, it was, if we're on that topic of Charlotte, and looks like last week I played.
How many demon did you have?
I'll tell you. So it looks like we played New Jersey, and we had 4 ECUs. Both my D-men were ECUs. We still pulled out the win. I mean, New Jersey's horrible, but we still pulled out the win. But yeah, I don't know. It's showing here that we have, looks like, yeah, 7. Let me go to it. Looks like we have a guy on IR, which is Alan Chains. So we have
Like,
1,
yeah,
2,
that
3,
doesn't help
4,
either.
5, 6, 7, 8 forwards. We have 5 defensemen and 2 goalies.
Yeah. Like, they have a guy on IR, too. Like, that doesn't help.
Almost done.
So, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Where is the thought process?
I'm sure that they're working, like, working it out.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I'll get out of here.
Raiders is loving this.
I'm sure that
That's Sir Mike Knight right there with his wife fucking with him.
Yeah, my wife does it all the time. Listen. She's got nothing better to do, so. But we'll see what Yeti does. I'm sure he's working on stuff.
24 million, 4 players.
Yeah, he's working to go find some idiot germ who is going to give him some 500K studs in return for his overpriced guy. It's going to, like I said, it's going to make friggin' Charlotte better for cheaper because some AHL GM doesn't know any better.
All right. Anything else you guys want to say before we head out, though?
Awful hat.
Oh, my wife doesn't like your hat.
Oh, well.
But we're Stars fans, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in the Pacific for so
In
long.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
Man.
And my wife's a Seahawks fan, so she doesn't like your hat either, Raiders.
That happens.
Raiders.
I don't like her husband, so.
That's rude. You love me.
All right, guys. Well, without further ado, thanks for tuning in, guys, to episode 3, and we'll catch you guys next week for episode 4.